got really excited when you said that you did speech and debate in college, because that's what I do, and I love it.
I can tell.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of obvious, can't hide it. But actually, my question comes from one of my teammates. I get into a lot of theological debates because, as you know, that's a community that doesn't really have a lot of religious background in it. It's all very intellectual and not really seated. And so he was talking to me a little bit about Christianity. And he asked me the question, where is there proof outside of the Bible that Jesus existed, the history of Christ and who he was? And I said there were writings out there, but I wasn't really sure what they were, so if you could.
That's a good question, but it's also somewhat wrong-headed. Wow, I sounded like a politician there for a moment, or I sounded like a boss giving a report. Anyway, it is a good question, but it is somewhat wrong-headed because the Bible is not one book. You've got 39 Old Testament, perhaps more if you're Catholic. You've got 27 New Testament. And, so to treat it all as if it were just unallowable evidence is kind of short-sighted, because the people who were not Christian, were not followers of Jesus, the moment they believed him to be risen, they became followers of Jesus, like Paul. And so if you're going to cut out everyone like that's testimony, that's everyone who has one position, even though they're coming from all these different backgrounds. So that's the first thing I would say. It's not quite a fair way to treat the evidence. But there is plenty of evidence outside of the New Testament. For more on this, go to the work of Gary Habermas. He has a book called Historical Jesus. I believe it's free on his website, garyhabermas.com. But he lists all the extra-biblical records of Jesus in the New Testament. Outside of the New Testament. So, for example, Pliny the Elder, right? Pliny's writing a letter to Trajan. It's in book 10 of his epistles, and as he's writing a letter to them, he says to Trajan, basically he says, look, I've got all these Christians. I've been asking them what they do, and they just tell me that they're trying to be good and helping people, but I don't believe them, so I've been killing them. Emperor Trajan, tell me how I'm supposed to do this. Should I be seeking them out and killing them? Or should I wait till they come to me? Maybe someone brings them to me. What should I do? In the process of writing this letter, he says that Jesus is worshipped as a god very early on. In other letters, we see things, for example, Lucian of Samosata, we see that in the Talmud, which is a Jewish source, we see in Mara bar Serapion, we see in Tacitus. These are all non-Christian, non-New Testament sources. All of them say Jesus was killed by crucifixion. So that is why scholars like Bart Ehrman, who I mentioned before, like Paula Fredrickson, like Marcus Borg, who I believe recently passed away, all these scholars who are non-Christian can say we can be certain that Jesus Christ died by crucifixion under Pontius Pilate. Paula Fredrickson even says that this is one of the most certain facts of history. Not just as certain regarding Jesus, it's one of the most certain facts of history because these records are so widespread from so many different people. Not just Christians in the first generation in the New Testament, also Christians outside of the New Testament from the first generation. So read a letter like 1 Clement, which is Christian but not in the New Testament. From people who are Gentiles, like Tacitus and Lucian. From people who are Jews, like the Talmud and Mara bar Serapion. You've got a lot of this stuff everywhere. But I would be very remiss if I said that you can just toss out the New Testament. It's really not the right way to do history.